everybody. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I am Kyle Bossman, the moderator, and joining us this week, Ian Hink.
Hi.
Daniel Bloodworth.
I'm gonna stick something up there.
And as always, Brandon Jones.
What did I miss?
Oh my.
I showed you.
No, I'm
I
caught
showed
off
you the
guard.
mug card.
I'm caught off guard by what you just said, Bloodworth.
Oh, up there. You were pointing at your nose.
No, I was pointing up above our
From my
heads.
perspective, you were like, I'm going to put something else up there. Like, did you put something in his nose?
Think about the listeners.
Yeah.
We have
yeah,
listeners,
that's true.
Bloodworth.
Yeah.
listeners.
That's even more ridiculous. You
For heaven's
people.
sake.
Wow,
Oh my
the
goodness.
video card like glows the name of the video card.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
we've just assembled our PC tonight. It is
Sweet.
what? I feel like we're starting. I feel like this is worth saying. We're starting at 10:30 tonight.
10:30. I'm exhausted.
Late night podcast.
Starving, exhausted. My fingers are cut and tired.
I did lots of soldering.
I did a lot of soldering. My contact prescription is way out of date. Couldn't see half of what I was
But
doing.
how are you?
But how are you
doing?
But how are you
Enough about
doing?
me, how are you?
I'm very excited to talk about video games today.
First
am
time Ian
I?
Hink is on the podcast.
First time
Ian
I've
Hink,
been
welcome
on
to
the
the
Yeah,
Easy
yeah.
Allies podcast.
Yeah. The
Easy
full
Allies
rotation.
podcast.
We're
Am I
not-
the end of the rotation?
And
Yeah.
you're also not stuck in a box.
Right.
What do you mean?
Oh,
what?
oh, the TriCaster box. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
For
actually-
now.
Yeah.
I'm actually on.
I'll get you back in that box, Hink.
People
we,
actually
we are not
suggested.
going to buy a TriCaster, are we? There's a cheap one.
Yeah? Cheap TriCaster?
How much is a cheap TriCaster?
I don't have these numbers on me right now.
Okay.
We could check B&H.photo.com.
A not cheap TriCaster is $30K.
Yeah, the one we had before was $30,000. And we should not buy that.
$80,000 goal. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. To everyone who doesn't know what a TriCaster is, it's just the stupid machine that allows us to do the old
Switch
podcast.
cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's largely unnecessary.
It seems so, right?
In fact, this I kind of prefer because it's more like
One camera.
it feels. Also, we don't have to have another person here every time to. No TriCaster.
Most
No
people are just
TriCaster.
listening.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not a stretch goal.
Not a stretch goal. Not happening. Sorry.
Before we talk about video games, we should talk about corrections. Begin corrections music, please. Many listeners have come forward to say they are young 20-somethings who grew up with SpongeBob, who are very willing to watch or to play Final Fantasy 15.
Cool.
So there is hope. There's hope in that new generation. Brandon, you called Nintendo the company that put the big red button on the GameCube controller.
Oh.
Is it green?
It's a big green
It's a
button.
big green button, okay.
It's a small
But I
red
knew the
button.
correction when you said it.
Sure.
And a big green button.
Yeah.
Just didn't know the color.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
one or the other. I didn't say purple or
I
something.
mean, in your defense.
Although there is a purple
There is
button.
a
on
purple
that controller
button.
as well.
I don't know the context of any of this, but in your defense, like I have seen smaller buttons than that red button in the world.
Not on a video game
In a
controller,
world.
though.
So I'm saying, I mean, like, depending on your reference, it could be a big button.
No, that's a small red button.
I mean, it's not a big button.
There was another zero gravity first-person combat game on PC in 2009 called Shattered Horizon. And I checked out a
Wow.
video. It's actually very cool.
Oh, okay.
Because we talked about space battles with Call of Duty and how
Right.
cool that would be. It kind of exists already, and it was kind of neat. We have
Ender's
to. Hubert blurted something, and then we got a lot of corrections about it, about how Nintendo announces something and then takes a while for it to actually come out.
Oh.
So let's look at history. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's not
Facts.
very true.
Nintendo 64. Revealed November 24th, 1995. Released in the US September 26th, 1996. So we do have a year there. That's pretty good, Huber. GameCube. Revealed August 24th, 2000. Revealed November 18th.
Released.
November 18th, 2001. That's another year. Point
Okay.
Huber. He's got this.
So these are for consoles.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wii. First revealed as the Revolution, had no games. They basically talked about Virtual Console at that E3. Then here's the Revolution, it fits in my jacket. No games. So I don't know if we count that. That was E3 2005. The controller was September of 2005, and then it was called the Wii April 27th, 2006, eventually to be released September 14th, 2006. So maybe Huber? I don't know where to go with that one.
That one's like yeah.
Yeah, and then
Been
we
a
had
long time.
the Wii U, which was announced June 2011 with no games. I forgot about this until I did this
Right.
research. When it was announced, it was like, it's called the Wii U. Here's a bunch of demos. None of these are, that's like my elf voice. I like to eat cats. Here's the Wii U. Anyway, so like, I was so mad. But anyway, that one, yeah, released, or announced in 2011, released November 18th, 2012. So yeah, for the most part, Huber was totally right about that.
It's like a year at least.
Yeah.
Well,
for consoles.
Maybe for consoles. I
Yeah.
mean, they've done a lot of things that they've just announced out of nowhere, and then they released like
Games wise.
yeah, like Excite Bots and like I think some like Wario Land Shake It or something, and it's like, oh, you announced this and you released it like a month later. Okay.
Yeah, but in this case, with consoles, history says that maybe
trying to
we'll
think.
hear about the NX this year. Maybe they'll do another thing where it's like, here's the NX. I want to eat cats. But
It's
like,
called the Wii Y.
yeah, and then
But you see, the thing is about those timelines that's a little weird is, I mean, we've sort of known about the NX for a long time already.
yes,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
actually-
No official.
So you're
drop,
saying we've
though,
already
right?
had that? We've been through that one E3 where it's just called the Wii U, is what you're saying? Where it was just called the Revolution.
Right.
We've had that already.
Have
Yeah.
they officially said the NX though?
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
did once, right?
Reggie
Yeah.
has
Yeah, yeah.
uttered the words
Yeah,
NX.
yeah.
Yeah, when I remember it was when it was when I went to the Splatoon preview last year is
Yeah.
when it happened, because we got there and the first thing Reggie like comes down out of his office and just like, hey, you guys are here to play Splatoon. We're not going to answer any questions about the NX. Thank you. Goodbye.
Classic Reggie.
So I think we can still expect at E3, to be honest, a reveal of NX and then NX coming out this year.
This
I
is
totally
water,
think you
by
can
the way.
expect that.
Not
Oh, because
like-
this red cup,
not
you look like a pro.
party beer or something.
Yeah. Ian's drinking
Party
from a
water.
red party cup. Finally, the name of our theme song that was made by Phantom NK is...
Is that how you say it?
Yep.
I always thought it was Phantom Ink.
And then, I said Phantom Man last week, and then like, people are still correcting me. They're like, no, you really got to hit that toe. So it's Phantom NK.
Sweet.
The name of this track is That Time When I Went to the Store and She Was Also There, but We Didn't Talk Like at All. And corrects the
Dude.
music.
Did he make up that after people
The
asked
Kyle
him?
Bossman
No.
story.
Oh, no.
I know that
Really?
feel, bro.
Oh,
I know that
I
feel.
totally get it.
That's
I
my
100%.
entire life.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see, she's at the store. We didn't talk.
It's pretty
She's over
positive.
by the like.
Seems like a
she's
pretty
over
upbeat
by
song,
like
you know?
the kombucha.
The song's about her, Jones.
So he's excited about. So he's positive about her, even though
His
you know
heart
he
rate.
had a yeah.
Yeah.
Goes up.
No. You're not. I don't know if the positive. You're just like that's. Yeah. I don't know.
It's also funny that there's a song about not starting a conversation that opens a podcast. I kind of like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whoa.
I strongly relate to it. I wonder if that's why I like it so much.
He probably named it that because we're all such losers.
Well, I'll tell you the secret, and this probably Phantom NK probably doesn't want this shared. Is that was like a file name for the track that he didn't mean to send me. He didn't know that I could see the
so
file
wait, does
name.
he not know that you are telling everyone that this is what the song is called?
I think he said it was okay. I'm not
think he
positive.
You think he said?
Well, let me know before I publish this video, Kyle. Maybe I'll just put like boop over that if you
Yeah.
if you know.
I think it's
Just big
endearing.
long-
We had a
No,
whole
it's not endearing.
conversation.
It's
Yeah.
I think it's endearing. I think it's cool.
I'll
I
have
love
him
it.
claim this portion of the video.
So we had this is an old school thing
Not the
happen.
song, the conversation about
Right.
it.
Last week after our podcast went up, huge news dropped. That's just what happens sometimes. So this news story is basically a week old.
Is this correction still?
No,
No,
correction's
we're
over.
out of that.
Did
He
we
ended
end-
that
we-
music.
you
yeah.
ended
He
correct.
said-
I did,
yeah,
in
he
fact,
ended
yes.
Just making sure.
Yeah. I'm glad you're on top. Jones is now the editor
cutting
of
this
this.
now,
Yeah,
so I had to
exactly.
get that in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, I won't know when to stop.
What I always did was look at the clock. I mean, I would look at the time
That's a
code,
lot of
but
work,
Yeah.
man.
if you could
Yeah.
look at this clock
Okay.
and just like remember,
Ah.
6 minutes after we started, he said start.
Yeah.
So this is one I'm actually gonna make Jones read this whole thing. This and we'll interject when we have comments and things to say that shocks me. A thread was created on the popular gaming forum NeoGAF.
I've heard of it, yes.
Yes. Basically, what happened was someone who saw a presentation of the PlayStation 4K just said, "Here's everything I heard. Here's everything." This person's been certified by Bish, a moderator of NeoGAF. Typically, that type of person is in retail. Usually, was where that intel comes from. So this is all pretty much legit. This is all we should take at its face value and accept as very close to fact. And so, Jones,
All right.
I would like
do an accent this time.
maybe you don't have to do an
criticize.
accent necessarily, but treat this like an insider leaking intel.
Oh, so this is.
You have to put on a character.
Like Edward Snowden or something?
right now. I can't be very loud.
That might be annoying.
That might be annoying.
handy?
No. Like you're a little. You think you're cool too.
Price is currently $399.99. They were discussing a better CPU, which would raise the price to $499. We were guaranteed the price will be no higher than $499. He mentioned the CPU upgrade quite a bit, almost as if they hadn't really decided on a final spec. Could be a pricing issue. Also, there is currently no plan for any type of trade-in program for current PS4 users, but that could change.
Should we stop there?
That definitely
that's
sounds like a retail
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It does, doesn't it? $499 is potentially how much the PS4K could cost.
So to me, it seems like they're like, okay, or PlayStation VR to actually be good, the PlayStation 4 sucks.
guy. No, I think to me it's.
Kind of.
I think that this goes beyond the
Well,
VR
that
thing.
too, yeah,
I think this is the premium.
Well, and I heard
PS4.
that some games. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here.
You're
but-
jumping the gun. Jones, okay, Jones, keep
reading,
going.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
Read it like your phrase. Your boss is gonna hear actually.
Yeah.
So you're a little more panicked.
They stated that the GPU is twice as powerful as standard PS4 and much faster. This is not my grammar. This is how this is written. They did.
Come on,
I'm
man.
just thinking. You got the leaks. You got the big opportunity, and you don't like proofread your thing. I'm sorry. They did not say exactly how fast, but that it was running at a higher clock speed while being much smaller than the original. It will have a 4K Blu-ray player and will upscale games that are not natively 4K. Also, there was talk of some sort of VR lounge for the media player app, which is supposed to be getting a substantial upgrade.
All right, nothing shocking there.
It was stated plainly and with no room for interpretation that there are developers that already have development kits for the PS4K and that they are making games that will directly target and take advantage of the higher specs of the PS4K. It was also stated that these games will in fact work for the PS4, but with considerable sacrifices made to performance.
Was there more on that?
There's more on that, but that's a good spot to stop.
That's a crunch.
So that's like PC like minimum settings versus PC maximum settings.
I doubt it's that. I bet it's like medium to high. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
Sure.
But that's a significant thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what somebody was. I think there's a clarification at some point. I don't know if it was when you'd copied it or not, but that it, like the word sacrifices may not be as severe as it sounds. Like it could be like just like the resolution. So like a
Yeah, scale
like
it
something
down a
that's
little.
running at 4K or 1080p
Right.
would actually on the PS4 would be running at 900, which is fairly common already.
Yeah, Osiris Black actually said, right, like everything has sacrifices. I'm sorry I used the word sacrifices. So made it look a little clear that don't expect the worst, basically.
But again, if we're like Ben's Dark Souls review, it's like PC, PS4, Xbox, very clear lines of performance.
And so now there will be PS4K among them.
Yeah.
Jones, keep going. The boss is getting closer.
It was also made very clear that current games would not be getting any type of performance upgrades by being played on the system, and any benefits to older games would come via patch per game and per developer. When asked if this was going to happen, the response was, it's a possibility, but doubtful with the exception of a handful of games. We're also given a list of games that will be available at launch that will directly take advantage of the PS4K, where the differences are, and I will quote him, significant.
Here we go. This is where it gets real. Here we go.
PS
Old games?
These are the games that will have the biggest boost on the PS4K.
Okay.
For the PSVR, Valkyrie,
Yeah.
Robinson,
Never heard of that.
That's the dinosaur one.
Yeah.
Oh.
GT Sport.
That's huge.
For the PS4K, Deep Down, thought this was dead. God of War 4 or Gears of War 4?
Yep.
God of War 4, GAO 4.
Yeah, obviously not Gears. Come on, man.
Oh, right. This was the exact abbreviation on the sheet. I can only assume it's God of War 4. There were more games on the list, but these are the ones that stood out to me. We've already covered... oh, wait. Is that your
Yeah,
notes?
that's it. That's
All
the
right.
end of the reading. Thank you, Jones. So that is all pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
The idea that God of War 4, a huge... Also, GT, Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Two really huge PlayStation exclusives will be focused, will run the best, will be perfect on the PS4K. I think that's a big deal.
And is that like the story version of the story I heard was that Deep Down and God of War 4 will only work on the PS4K.
No way.
No.
That's what I heard, and I was like, that is insane.
Who's spreading this stuff?
I don't know.
Some other podcast?
No, I don't know.
Are you listening to some
It
other
was a
podcast?
person, I can't remember who it was.
Okay.
But like, I was like, that is impossible and insane.
The meaning of that list right there is these are the games that will have the biggest leap.
Biggest boost. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Valkyrie right there, the VR.
Yeah.
But see, that sort of makes sense because Eve is like the multi-platform VR game.
Yeah.
So like it's already running better on PC.
Yeah.
So it just is ready to take advantage of any more horsepower.
So that means that still, if you get a PlayStation VR, and you buy the PS4K,
You're having a better time.
and if the PS4K is $500,
yeah.
and the PSVR is $400, right? That's what, $900
Yeah.
entry level to get PlayStation VR.
If you have that camera.
Right, if you already have the camera. So
Yeah.
$960 plus a Move controller. So like $1,000.
Yeah.
Right? Versus the Oculus, where you need a $1,200 computer, roughly, and the $600 Oculus, or the Vive, where you need a $1,200 to $1,400 computer and a $900, $800 Vive. Like, that's pretty crazy still. Like, that's...
You're still saying it's value.
I mean, I'm saying, if you're into VR and, like, you want a PlayStation VR, you're getting VR for $800 instead of $2,000.
Okay. Wow, I did not expect positivity out of this.
I'm not. I think this is a crazy idea.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. That's the thing. I don't think it's crazy. It's just weird.
So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today, because we did talk about this a lot last week. The
It was
potential
2
of
weeks
this.
ago.
Yeah, we're talking about it every week, I guess. Jones, how do we spin this? Let's be the PR team for Sony. How do we make this good news when we announce the PS4K?
It's tricky because I think this is unprecedented for Sony. Like, this is something Nintendo's done a lot. Like, we're
Yeah.
used to like weirdo
Expansion packs?
other weird consoles and stuff. And they updated the PS3 a lot during the PS3's lifetime. Same with the PS2, but like it didn't change what games would work. Like, it
Yeah.
would change some
Slim.
other weird functionality.
Yeah.
Some things would go away, some things would come back, but it never affected the games.
Well, it affected. I mean, you lost the. I mean, that's why I bought my PS3 when I did, because you lost the backwards compatibility with
Yeah.
PS2 games.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
but it was never like the best version of God of War 3
No,
will be on this
that's
particular.
true. But I mean, there were like, yeah.
They never made a change that made you feel like your PS4 was crappy.
Yeah. So what do they
Well,
do?
no, I mean, I feel like they got crappier as they went along. So it's kind of the opposite
In a very
now.
different kind of weird way, though.
How do they possibly message this? That like, hey, the PS4 you have now isn't bad, everybody, but you're
Yeah.
gonna want to buy. How do you
But there's
possibly
a
market
powerful,
this?
better one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to clearly draw that line between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4K. There should be no question in my mind at all as a consumer what I'm getting for what does what.
Yeah.
What should I get a new console? Should I not? Like, I think it's tricky because I don't think it's a bad idea. It does make sense in a weird way. Like I could see this playing right into the Sony crowd and them really, really liking, wanting to upgrade, to a new console. I could see tons of people that are totally willing to do it.
I'd think
This
about
is
it.
just the first thing that Sony has done since they, since that mic drop, since they, had that amazing E3, that I'm nervous. It's the first thing like, oh no, Sony, you're going so good.
Right.
Do you need this? Do you
Well,
really
is that
need
the
to
thing?
do
Is
that?
that the thing where they're like, we're so far ahead that we can take this chance?
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah.
It's not.
Also, my
no one's gonna
question
throw
is,
away
But I
their
think everyone's doing
PS4.
this.
They're still going to be able to play the
that's
games.
the thing. That's the thing. I have two questions about this.
Okay.
Are they phasing out the old PS4? They're going to stop selling the old
No,
PS4?
no. That's going to be the budget. That when
Yeah.
PS4K
Okay, yeah, so
gets
that
announced,
one will be $250.
PS4 will go down.
Right. Okay. So you've got your budget PS4 and your PS4K.
Yeah.
So then maybe this is just like, I mean, I doubt this, but like, are we not gonna get a PS5 then? Are they just gonna? Is this
That's
the new?
kind of
are
what I'm
people just gonna
thinking.
start rolling out like updated versions of the? That's weird, but like, is that what's gonna happen?
I actually doubt that.
I think that they would still do a PS5.
Yeah. Because
This
of
seems
of
soon.
software.
This seems very soon.
Oh yeah, and especially feels soon because of how many games we've gotten. Do you know how many like sick next gen games that we've gotten since the launch of the PS4? It's like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It's like that's it. Like, what have you been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
You want to give us a new console already? What have you accomplished?
Yeah.
Knack, get out of here.
When did the PS4 come out? How long ago? How long have we had these things?
It was 2013.
So 3 years.
Kind of. We'll get to 3
3-ish
years.
years,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, like, yeah, what is it? Like Witcher 3, GTA 5, and Bloodborne are like your main like.
GTA 5 was launched on the PlayStation 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
you get in
it's
the head of like a
Bloodborne and-
crazy Sony consumer, some like super crazy fanboy that's just gonna buy this no matter what. And it's like, well, wouldn't we can build it? We have the technology. when you want us to get you that? You know, like, aren't you excited we
'Cause
got it to
I
you
do
so
know
fast?
trade-
I
got
get
on
that,
this?
Jones. I actually totally get that aspect of
You
it.
know, it's like, well, we didn't have to wait another year for this. We're getting this now. You know?
Yeah.
They won't be trade-ins. They just won't be like officially Sony.
Sure,
backed up.
yeah.
GameStop
will
can't
do
wait.
it.
They can't wait to do those
GameStop
trade-ins.
is thrilled.
They want them.
You'll get like half the value of a PS4K, probably.
I think it's bad. I think it's potentially bad and scary to push those games, to push that GT Sport 4K, to have a commercial that this is literally only about GT Sport and the 4K console. This is that commercial. We're not even mentioning PS4. You know, like really just completely focus on those games.
Is that bad? That's what I would do. That's what I would do with a
I would
commercial.
do that too. I think it's potentially scary because it's like, well, then you're leaving the old console in the dust. Then you're not focusing on other games. Then you're confusing people about
Actually-
what console. As long as you define what the difference is between those two things, it'd be like you really, really should. Like, don't have the attitude where it's like, oh, we got both. It's they're for different kind of people. Be like, no, you got to upgrade.
Unless
There's no reason not to.
Unless their push is going to be strictly at the early adopters, because like
Yeah.
I don't have a 4K TV. I don't intend to buy a 4K TV.
Yeah.
I don't intend to buy a 4K projector. I don't intend to jump into 4K
Do 4K editing and shooting
in the
yeah.
near future. I mean,
Yeah.
I could do 4K editing. I've edited in like Red before, like 2K back in those days. But like, I don't intend to get a 4K TV for a long time. It's not on my radar. So like maybe PS4K, maybe they're gonna lean on that K and they're gonna be like, take advantage of your 4K TV with this new PlayStation that can actually push to your TV. Like maybe they are just gonna be like, we've got the new Sony 4K Bravia, like support it with the new PlayStation 4K so that you're getting your full potential, Like I don't know, maybe they're just gonna push to the high-end crowd. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two kind of scenarios of pressures that could be on this. Number one is that that like you're saying with 4K being so big among Sony, that they could just be like, you got to make the PS4 work
Right.
on 4K TVs
Yeah.
and take advantage of this,
Yeah.
because PlayStation is leading the way on Sony's brands. The other thing, I was saying before, is I think everyone's doing this, and I think that Sony kind of has to be in that ball game because they, if Nintendo's coming out with a new system, they're not going to be coming out with a PS5 anytime soon. They want something that is going to be, like
Interesting.
on a playing field.
Oh, I
and
think
if
so.
Xbox, has been dogged with being behind, and they're going to do a similar type of thing.
But do we really think that the NX is going to be technologically
We'll get there actually.
superior to the PS4?
We'll get there, Ian. There
Okay.
are rumors that it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That'd be a first.
Yeah. We'll touch
Well,
on
it
that
wouldn't-
later.
it
What if
wouldn't be.
Nintendo just like kicks the door down and like sprays bullets on all the competition?
The GameCube with its big red button was way more powerful than the PS2.
Yeah, but then they were
Yeah.
like, let's put tiny little DVDs in there. So you gotta have 8 DVDs for your games. For no reason, just because we're dumb and
No,
cute.
it was actually a loading time thing. That was.
Don't give me
was
that.
it.
Don't give me that. Don't give me actual answers to my ridiculous things, Blood.
I can explain how that disk drive worked. It was different than most disk drives.
So
Didn't they have, like, a proprietary laser or something.
Jones dropped a bomb on us that we kind of breezed by. God of War 4.
Yeah.
Right.
We have, even since that leak, we have another new leak about God of War 4. That's very recent.
Leaks. Leaks on leaks.
Gosh, I feel weird calling this a leak because here's what happened. There's a website called Nerd Leaks.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yep, somebody's got to be Nerd Leaks.
There's a pill for that.
We're all trying to make money out here. But here's what they did that's pretty questionable is it wasn't a leak. They kind of snuck into a spot. There were 40 concept art images of God of War 4 on a site that was password protected, but like sloppily password protected. Where
Oh.
if you went to look in at the code of the website, you could kind of find the images without really having to hack, without having to like guess anyone's password or anything.
So you just change the URL.
I guess so, yeah.
Apparently that's common. Apparently, like I learned while I was working at Viacom recently, cutting stuff for RuPaul's Drag Race. My friend was telling me that like, because he was like, you've seen the episodes. And I'm like, yeah, because at the time I'd like seen like the first 4 before they came out or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I've seen the first one. And I'm like, it doesn't go up for 4 days. And he's like, oh, it always leaks. They
Nerd leaked it.
They just change the, because apparently like the back end, you can like guess the URL and then
Wow.
you just get the files. And I'm just like, that's really kind of sad.
Nerd leaking those RuPauls.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I should Brandon, did we print out the image on this? No, I guess I
No.
didn't print. But you saw Kratos.
Yeah.
Blood, have you seen Kratos?
Yeah.
Ian, have you seen Kratos?
I did not.
Okay, so we're gonna do our best job to explain it. We should for listeners anyway. He's not as pale as he once was. He's got a big old bushy beard,
He's going Dawson.
and he's got pants. Kratos with pants.
No.
He doesn't have his 2 blades. He's got an axe.
Huber's happy.
Huber's so stoked.
Huber loves big bushy beards and axes.
Basically, there was not a lot actually to derive from the 40 images. You know, it's not something too crazy. But what we do know is that God of War 4 is dealing with Norse mythology.
Vikings. Huber's thrilled.
Huber is out of his
He's
mind
in
right now.
Hogger heaven.
They've designed this game for Huber.
They were like, we've heard of this Michael Huber.
We wanted to make a game for him.
He's gonna want to give it a 10, even though we're on 5.
Yeah. 10 stars.
So let's talk about Kratos first. I mean, it's God of War 4. Kratos is back, but he looks very different. Are we cool with that?
So he's older.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge God of War fan, but I still am curious as to where. Yeah, like, are they going to continue from that kind of strange, kind of not clear cliffhanger thing that they had going on, or is it going to be a reboot?
Yeah.
Which I kind of hope they don't do a reboot. But
Why?
Like a straight hard reboot?
Yeah.
I would love a hard reboot.
Me too.
Yeah.
Go on.
So it's like, so
Just
how,
put
would
it in
they,
my
how
vote.
would they reboot? I mean, not knowing anything really about God of War, but like, would it just be like a parallel universe or something?
Yeah, you know, it's just like he wakes up and he's got a little
Just
fairy.
strolls
He's like,
into
wake
Norse
up, man.
mythology.
It was
It's like,
all
well, I might as well kill
green.
these guys too.
But so Blood,
You
is that
pissed me off for
why you
some
don't want it
reason.
to be a reboot? Is that it would be too silly?
I feel like. I mean, I feel like it. I get the kind of like Spider-Man flashback where like every time there's a Spider-Man movie with a new Spider-Man, it's like, oh, we get to see the same story again. Like, I don't want that to freaking happen, right?
So they, just
Like, I don't
retain
want
the
it. I don't
rights.
want like the first God of War backstory that's been told so many times. To,
I killed my family.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
So that's.
I mean, that would be an upsetting event, but yeah.
It's like we
It's-
retread that water too
It's
many
more
times.
upsetting than like my parents died when I was a little kid.
Batman rehashes that every time.
Yeah.
Oh, every
too.
single. Oh, it makes me so
Yeah.
mad.
You ever dance with
Jones,
the devil in a pale
known
moonlight?
Batman fan.
Right.
So are you
Jones,
cool?
you
With,
like Batman?
But I'm always down for a Batman reboot.
are you?
Of course you are.
Are you cool with Kratos? Are you cool with like the prospect of God of War 4? Here we go. I'm Kratos with an axe.
Sure, yeah. I want different Kratos. I want them to get, because they like, yeah, like 1, 2, 3, and then there were 2 games that were both billed as the beginning. There was like, this one's before God of War. And then another PSP game, they're like, this one's before God of War.
What
And I'm
if
like,
it's-
you said,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Is this before the one before?
And then
Or
God
is
of War
one at the same
Ascension,
time
man.
before?
This one's
Yeah.
after the one that was before, but before the one that was before.
Like
the
God
one.
of War, was it a God of War Origins?
Yeah, it's like
that was not
Chains
Origins.
of
There was one before Origins
Olympus
that was the
and
origin.
Origins.
And then Origins was
there's
before that.
Ascension, and then there were the 2 PSP games, right?
One had chains in the name. I know that.
Chains of Olympus. Right?
Yeah, and I think the other one's Sparta something. But
It's
anyway,
also Sparta.
It's like
Yeah,
you've done the end, you've done the beginning. He's gone to hell like 5 times. There is nothing I want to see that character do at all again ever.
Is
I
it
want
possible that it's
completely
not
brand new?
Kratos?
it is not possible because he's named Kratos in the concept
Oh,
art.
okay,
He's kind of
But they-
Could it be
could-
like his son? Or
Yeah,
something?
Kratos could just be a
Kratos Jr.
throw-out name.
like Link.
Just call him for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would love. It's like, the other one set it up where he was mad at Ares for tricking him, but he also had felt the guilt for him doing his horrible thing. And it'd be a cool story if there's like, let's take that guilt out. What if he's just a bad guy? What if he's the villain? We're like, or
yeah.
what if he's
Sociopath.
not a god or son of a god? What if he's a human that was given god powers? Or what if it's like Mega Man, where you can't just have all the powers at once, but you gotta switch between the different gods and like embody their powers? It's like, wipe the slate clean. I'd be way more interested in like some crazy direction it would take, as opposed to like Kratos, like, I grew my beard out. Like, okay,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because I don't think I
I'm
love
in
love
Norway.
David Jaffe. I think he created an amazing franchise. I don't think he saw it going as far as it did. I mean, he didn't, because he left. He
Yeah,
was like,
he's
I
not
don't,
involved.
that's not where I was going to take the story. And I just think I think the concept that they came up with for the PlayStation 2 era will not support that franchise in the long term. I think they got to.
It's worth stating actually
Reboot.
that I mean, this is not confirmed, but it's all but confirmed that Cory Barlog, director of God of War 2, is directing this game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, just loved the way Tomb Raider got rebooted. Loved, there's lots of great reboots lately.
Reboots
So
can
I
happen.
think,
They can work.
Yeah.
Jones, I'm sorry to go right back at you, but you're the person who usually gets bothered by this the most. Do you think this affects the reveal of God of War 4? That we have these images, that we
sure.
know it's Norse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a
There's no
huge
question.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leaks suck.
See, this leak I actually think is okay. I'm actually okay with this one. I mean, I'm not okay with what Nerd Leaks did. I don't think that that's journalism. I think they went a little over the line a little bit by
Shots
like...
fired.
It's shady journalism, but it's
Yeah. Well, is it though? It's just like, we dunk through your trash. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you went a little too far there,
I
maybe.
mean, there
People
are
digging
sites,
through source code is not that unusual.
There are sites that do that. That's their thing, and it's like they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
They
okay.
had the gall to make a video game. I'm just saying, the gall. Seriously, the gall to make a video game. I mean, who does that? You know what I mean?
How dare they get to announce
Yeah.
it on
Those
their own
jerks.
terms?
Yeah. But
When would they have announced it? Do you think E3?
Oh,
No,
E3.
wait that
We're gonna
long?
get a
This is
crazy
happening
trailer
at
at
E3
E3.
for
What
sure.
month is this?
We're like
April.
I think we're like 3 months away from E3 at this point.
2.
2
My
months. Here we go.
God.
We gotta register.
We gotta get in that E3.
Yeah, but I think that I don't know. It's like how Nintendo had to tell everybody the Wii was called the Wii before E3. I think that was a good call because sometimes it's like it's called the Wii and like crickets. So they can say it's the Wii. Here we go, and these are the games. You know what I mean? And like people are more prepared. We're a little more prepared for God of War 4 now in a weird way.
But I mean, well, think about it this way. So it's like, imagine you haven't seen those screenshots at all.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, okay, thank you very much. This is a great press conference. Got one last thing to show you. Hope you guys enjoy it. Opens up axe like in someone's head, and you're just like, oh, what could this be? Now it's it's God of War, cool.
Yeah.
And then
hear you,
then
Jones.
some guy
Yeah.
picks up the axe. And we don't see him. We're like, we've already seen this guy. Why are they not showing him? It's like, well, because the video you're watching, they started working on 2 months ago. And what are they gonna do now? Like 2 months before well, I guess we'll make a new video, or we'll just make the video we were gonna make that's not gonna have any impact now because no one's gonna care. But were we not supposed to work on this for a long time? Were we supposed to rush it at the end? Is that what is that the solve to all of this leakage? Is just like make stuff worse, and they're just like, or accept, it's like
If
there's
they're
no...
smart now, they start off the press conference with this instead of ending. Like
Sure.
if they were gonna end, now they just start with it.
Corey
Really, I
Barlog
hope
comes out of
everything-
fake beer
You're
and
right.
a big
You gotta have fake
inflatable
leaks.
axe.
You gotta like put like your Norse weird Kratos on the easy to hack servers, so that when they get those 40 images, they're like, yeah, we nerd leaked it. We hacked into the system. We got him. We got the scoop. But then like the real game is like, it's like Mayan mythology, and
Ooh,
it's
I want
like
some of that Mayan
entirely
stuff.
new guy. You
Yeah,
know?
dude.
It's like,
Snakes and eagles.
it's like Apocalypto, and
Yeah.
it's just like God of War, Maya, or whatever, it's like not even like it has nothing to do with the fake leak. That's how you make video games.
cool.
Fake servers. Pay extra concept artists a bunch of money.
So this next stuff, I want to like zip through this because I don't want to steal Ben's thunder too much.
Thunder Ben.
Thunder Ben.
Thunder Ben.
I want to talk about Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
Because there was a big event last week called Final Fantasy 15 Uncovered. Actually, I think it's called Uncovered Final Fantasy 15.
Right.
That's Square style.
Square style, baby. So here's the news. We're not going
It
to
was
talk.
also Platinum Demo Final
Platinum
Fantasy
Demo.
15.
Yep.
Yep.
But don't be critical of the game.
cute.
We're simply talking about the news right now. We got to save game talk for Ben. I gotta let him have that.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch the event.
Okay.
Neither did I.
Great. So then we're in a good spot here.
Let's just skip it.
Well, let me talk about the news. Okay, the game's coming out September 30th. Great date. Early
That is
fall.
a good date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Final Fantasies, I think, traditionally come out in September.
Whoa.
Final Fantasy 7 did.
Now I'm gonna have to fact check that.
No, it came out September 7th, I think.
I
I remember thinking that was awesome when I was a kid.
the platinum demo, a free demo of the game, not a story demo, but basically a tech demo of the game, came out that night. That was very cool. It definitely that leaked ahead of time, and people already knew.
I love when people do that.
We are strong proponents of that. Always love that. There's a feature-length film coming, and there are 5-episode anime series coming. They're both gonna be prequels.
Whoa.
30,000 Ultimate Editions were sold for $270 US is how much that costs.
Each.
Yep. Ben got one.
Did he actually?
He did. Yeah, he got one of those little reservations.
Not surprised.
But like honestly, if you put this object that costs $270 in front of someone like Ben, he's gonna buy it.
He's gonna buy it. He
What are
can't help himself.
You can't like
He's
that. Just
compelled.
you've made him want it more by making it that expensive.
Uh-huh.
You say 30,000, like he can't help himself.
Yeah.
How
They
could they do
could
it?
even be like, this is a $39 value
Yeah.
for $279. And he would have
Think
to
of the
buy
value.
it.
You'd have to buy it. It's a crazy value. What I want to talk about with this event is, do you think Final Fantasy 15?
Side bet. I bet Damiani bought more than one.
Good side bet.
Side bet.
I'll take the
actually
bet.
Don't think so.
I'm
Has he
Ian,
cooled off?
I'm gonna go. He bought 0.
Yeah, I don't think you got it.
Okay. Loser has to draw Damiani a picture of Noctis. Not tell
Okay.
him about this. People-
Adult or child Noctis?
Your choice.
Okay. I'll do like a combo, like adult Noctis, but with like his childhood form within, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And no context. Just email it to him with like a really big signature of your own signature.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we'll lock that in.
All right, lock that in.
All right. What do I want to talk about on this podcast? Not about the game itself too much. The news. Do we think Final Fantasy 15 had an impact last week?
Yes.
Sure,
Yeah,
earlier
yeah.
than they thought, but yeah, a day early.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Move
Oh,
on.
good.
That's
because of
it,
the
huh?
I
reboot?
thought it was
Is
this
that
whole
what you
thing,
mean?
and now it's a little more cool than it was before.
Is it
I
a
mean-
little more cool?
Oh yeah, a movie attached to it, a show attached to it. Like
So that stuff works on you. You're like, yeah, it's a bigger deal than I thought it
blowing
was.
I think
it
it
out.
successfully
Yeah.
worked on the crowd. That makes me a little nervous, like the super lore dump beforehand, because that to me, you know, like I have concerns about how 15 was handled in relation to Versus 13.
Oh, we
and
know.
and I wonder if like when it made the transition from Versus 13 into 15, they were like, well, okay, this is 15 now. What we got to do something else, and they were like, oh, what if we just do a lore thing beforehand? And like, oh, that's cool. And like, I think those shows are gonna be really well produced in that movie. I think the acting is gonna be really great. I think they're gonna be spectacles. I think I'm gonna finish Final Fantasy 15, look back at them, and be like, what the hell did they make those? Like, that didn't add anything. Like, that didn't spell any character out for me. That kind of, I didn't need those. You know?
Yeah.
That's
It-
just
It
my
seems-
prediction.
It
Like,
seems
having seen nothing from it so far.
I played the little demo, and I won't go into it too much, but like it seemed like to me the gameplay is nothing, and the story is like, I mean, obviously it's a Final Fantasy, but like they're leaning on the story a lot, and I think they're gonna show like origin stuff. Maybe.
I think the gameplay is big
What?
for Square. I think it's big for Square to be
Yeah,
doing the things
you know,
that they're doing.
the
but-
combat system? Hold circle.
Oh
Right.
no.
Well, it's a
It
demo.
was.
It's a demo, so you're not
I
gonna.
think the demo was cute. And then to fight the boss, you just air sword up to the thing, air
Yeah.
sword down to the guy, air sword up to the thing, air sword down to the guy, air
Oh,
sword up to
boy.
the thing.
It was fun
air
every time
sword
you did
down to
that.
the
You know,
guy.
you're like,
It
shoot him up
was
real high.
awesome.
Okay.
I'm like,
Over
I'm
there.
a total badass, not taking any damage fighting a super hard boss way above my level.
I am holding my tongue.
I liked the demo. I don't know. Did you guys hate it?
No, I like it.
I
You can turn into a truck.
I love it. I know Ben. He wants to
Not
say
drive a
that.
truck, turn into a truck.
yeah.
I love that demo.
Goaty.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
demo was cute.
I think there's some cool things in that demo, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. In the
Pointless.
combat system didn't feel like it demonstrated the combat.
No.
system
Ben's
to
gonna be
me.
At all.
furious. He's gonna be furious that you enjoy this right now.
It was interesting that like later you do see like the actual combat a little more, where
Yeah.
you hold circle
Oh man.
and you're taller.
But I just like I know
Trolling
there's
so hard
gotta
right
be
now.
more involved than what it
There has to be,
Yeah.
yeah, like magic and stuff. Like I
Uh,
ran out of magic points.
You
like,
gotta see
immediately.
some. You gotta see some good gifts. The combat. If you are willing to get good at it, can look incredible.
I'm not concerned about how combat looks.
Oh,
Kyle.
like, no, what
That's
you're
why
actually
I don't
performing-
like the Batman games or
So
your
it-
Shadows of Mordor.
So Ian, it's like dashing back, switching weapons, throwing shurikens, and switching back to sword, like mid combo, like going thing, like warping behind the guy, like switching to your big
Alright, that's
powerful
pretty
sword,
sweet.
and then like
to be fair, I only used the air sword because I was like, I can beat this thing without trying.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I was doing the traps and stuff with the fire and the barrels and all that kind of thing. I was messing around with whatever I could.
Yeah.
But I just felt like that boss fight was like, oh, this is the combat system. Well, like everything before that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
it
I
does
thought
not
that.
matter.
Did you fight the second boss
Yeah.
where he's like stronger?
15, yeah.
Yeah, I fought him too. Anyway,
Oh,
we're
look
killing
at us.
Thunderben.
Yeah, we
What's up?
totally did. I'm so
killing-
sorry,
sorry,
Ben.
Thunderben.
Ben, we did it. I
Thunderben.
tried my hardest. Thunderben.
You brought it up.
It's
You knew
all
what you were
thunder
doing.
now.
Boy. But we learned that Final
They're gonna
Fantasy
talk
15
about it way more.
It had an impact last week. I think that's actually a big
Yeah.
deal. They put out an event and
a
they
big
treated
game.
their game like an event, and I think I always want to encourage stuff like that. I think that was really cool.
It's a big game.
It's everybody's favorite time of the podcast. It's podcast halftime.
Right.
Jones, why don't you take it away?
Welcome to Easy Allies Podcast Halftime. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of April. Michael Kozachenko, Devin Gibbs. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. YoYoTricks.com, a tutorial website for teaching people how to yo-yo. To buy yo-yos and learn how to get started, visit YoYoTricks.com or their YouTube channel. YXBA, a really informative channel for a serious take on all things Nintendo. Visit youtube.com/YXBA and subscribe. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. Those are the people on our
Yo-yo
Patreon.
tricks, dude.
Oh yeah.
Jolly.
All
All of those are great.
I can't believe we kept YXBA after last week.
Why?
What
What did
happened
we?
last week?
We were like idiots about Nintendo.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
like
sure.
YXBA like really believes
Well,
in us
YXBA
still.
kept us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
put it that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, YXBA, for not dropping us. Appreciate it.
Sometimes we do say things about things, yeah.
Because I went to that channel and it's just like, yeah, let's have like a serious conversation about Nintendo. It's like, oh, this is actually really cool, and we're just like Nintendo, blah blah blah, and we're just like, we're idiots.
I think part to be fair of our like speaking for myself, I guess.
Sure.
Of our like weird attitude toward Nintendo is that you are our spokesperson for Nintendo in most cases.
Yeah.
And you're just so ridiculous.
Yeah. It's
That
not
we can't
fair.
take Nintendo seriously because we can't take you seriously.
It's not even fair because people are just like, you haven't played Mario 64 till last year. It's like, yeah, I didn't like say, hey everybody, I'm the big Nintendo fan. It's just it's the way life goes
chose.
sometimes. I did not
You
choose this
love
path.
those Pokemans.
I didn't choose to love Pokemon.
Pokemon chose you.
Yeah. Okay.
I choose you.
He doesn't want to be the very best. He has to be.
I want
Yeah.
to introduce a new segment called "Is This News?" And so I have like 3 stories that like we could talk about, or we could just say no, that's not news.
Prediction.
Let's move on.
Probably not.
This week the PS4 now allows streaming to PC. Is this news?
Sweet.
You can stream your PS4 games to your PC.
Like remote play with the Vita.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
thought you
Windows
meant, like,
10
what,
and Xbox
Twitch?
were already doing it. Now PS4 does it too.
Yeah.
And it works on
Windows
Mac as
10?
well.
Yeah.
On Mac.
Yeah.
Huh. So wait, I can play my PlayStation 4 from my computer
Yeah. Is that news?
in Germany.
I
I think it'll be a little
possibly
cruddy.
not that. I think it's
Yeah.
just within your house for the most part. I don't know.
That's
Actually,
cool.
maybe.
This reaction is about what I expected.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
we
yeah,
covered it.
All right.
If it doesn't like improve anything from
Yeah.
a performance standpoint, and it's just like,
I've
that
never
was
been
neat.
impressed with like the Vita remote plays.
I know, and I think it probably took them so long to figure this out. It's like some poor engineer has been working on this for 2 years straight. It's like, hey, we can finally do it, and then like just 4 guys on a podcast are like, good job, I guess.
Yeah, congratulations, Vinny. Downstairs Sony guy.
The new feature I'm actually excited about is that you can go offline. You can be invisible when you're online.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
that's
now,
gonna be my
now publishers will tell us to do that. when we-
yeah. You will never see me online
Yeah.
again. I love that.
Also, I just realized that you
But
can
that-
change your
That
friend
got Ben
settings.
through those weeks.
what do you mean it got him through this? Oh yeah, I know. He's gonna get more
you play
depressed.
Digimon.
Kyle's still
you're gonna get
alive.
text from him.
Good.
Are you online, Kyle?
Yeah, good
Can't
memory.
tell.
Are you online?
And then I'll just look at my. I don't respond to text messages.
You don't
All right.
respond.
So next one is this news. We have some more NX rumors. This were posted on Reddit.
Oh.
The NX will have x86 architecture, backup data to a Nintendo server, most likely My Nintendo, support for additional screen, can handle ports of current gen games, will be able to interact with smartphone apps using NX software, will unlock My Nintendo reward points. Is that news?
Well, it confirms that the NX will be a modern console.
Yeah.
The end.
To me, that's like not even
Especially
worth.
if it's not confirmed.
Yeah.
If it's a rumor, and
Yeah, it's to me right. That's why I didn't cover it as like a big juicy rumor.
It
it
for
seems
us
like
to talk
it seems
about.
like a rumor console game that you would play, where it's just like, okay, go Bill. And it's like, all right, let's see what I can get here. The NX will play current games. Hey, play current games. Write that one in the Mad Lib space. Like, okay, play current games. They're just super generic headlines. You're like, all right,
Absolutely.
maybe they'll do that, maybe they won't. I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
a deal breaker either way.
The only thing there that's maybe kind of surprising is that, the second screen thing would indicate backwards compatibility with Wii U games.
I actually think it doesn't. I think the second screen is like, hey, you can use your phone.
But wasn't that a separate line? Didn't they have the phone line there after that?
No. Using NX software will unlock My Nintendo reward points. Oh, we'll be able to interact with smart device apps So yeah, I
like
think
Miitomo.
I think second screen. I still don't believe in Wii U backwards compatibility.
What if the backwards compatibility is not that they would have, just like the Wii U didn't come with Wii remotes, the NX, it wouldn't come with a gamepad, but if you had a gamepad,
Oh,
then
what?
you
I
just sync
never
it.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Weird though. Then you just trade the weird thing into GameStop alone. I don't know. It's a whole messes. I don't think it's news. I don't want to cover it.
Hang on a
Lastly,
sec. Hey guys, this is just an update. Behind the scenes, I'm doing this podcast right now. Just here with Brandon Jones, Daniel Bloodworth, me. I mean, you know me. And that's Kyle Bossman there.
you know what I hate so much? You chose now.
Huh?
You chose now. You picked this is gonna be the boring part of the podcast. That is this news segment.
I don't know what these guys are talking about.
Stop
Frankly,
it.
they're talking about
There are
video
people.
games.
There are listeners who are listening to this
Huh?
right now. They don't know you're holding a camera.
I'm holding this camera right now because I'm doing a behind the scenes for Easy Update, my show, my weekly
Oh
show.
my gosh.
I'm still
right.
the boss of this show. I'm still the boss.
Bossman's acting real uppity. I'm gonna. All right. Well, thanks. Catch you later, updaters. Stay frosty.
updaters.
Updated.
What? Sorry.
Mega Man Legends 2 available on PSN. Is this news?
No.
I'm sorry, Kyle. It's not news.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I figured not. I just wanted to mention it in case no one heard about that. Mega Man Legends 2, very good game.
I really wonder how that stuff does. I mean, it's great. I want all that stuff to be available, but it's just done these small little steps. It's like, oh, okay, if you happen to somehow catch that in the news flood, then maybe you'll go download it.
Yeah, on your PlayStation 3.
Oh, wait.
It's
not
on the 3?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so it's not news. Okay, got it. Okay, let me just cross that
My
off right there.
PlayStation 3 hasn't been turned on.
That is
and
actively not news.
I do feel like if it launched on PlayStation 4, if they could somehow figure that out, it would sell 4 times as many copies.
Of course it would.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's now time for Love and Respect. Love and Respect. I had one that I wanted to start with this week, actually. Let me see if I can find that one. Love and Respect, of course, is a segment in which we pull comments from our $5 patrons, that tier. They send us things that they want us to talk about, and then we talk about those things. Always thoughtful. I just put an arrow next to it. Okay.
$5 and above.
$5 and above.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even our
Just to be
$500
clear.
sponsors, they could even be dropping some of those in here.
We could take something from Scorn, for
Yeah,
example.
Ebb Software could be weighing in heavily on this right
Yeah.
now. What do you think of Scorn?
It's
good. We think it's
what do you think
great.
of Scorn? Yeah. Wait, we should say we're never going to review Scorn.
Yeah.
We are not going to review Scorn. That was part of the deal.
Yeah. We'll talk
We
about
won't
Scorn all
review
day.
Anyone who's what is it? The word I'm talking about.
If you draw the kind of things they're drawing for Scorn,
Sponsor.
I'll talk
Sponsor, there
about
it
I'll
is.
talk about Scorn whenever you want to talk about Scorn.
Yeah.
Little vertebra skeleton monster
It did. I
Geiger
saw the
demons.
website. It does look kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we must maintain our journalistic integrity.
Right.
And antiquity.
Integrity. All right. So this comes from Patrick Inbush. If you
Hi,
don't cover
Patrick.
it in any of your other segments already, and we haven't, I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions on Miitomo and the My Nintendo account stuff. It's fascinating how many people in my friend list spend far more time with it than they should, including me, or than I expected. It's just so stupid, but at the same time, it's weirdly charming. Clearly, Nintendo and Mi Photo is just so great. Additionally, it's so stunning how straightforward things like adding friends, connecting to other social networks, or My Nintendo, tracking missions, achievements, and so on, in general works, especially as it's Nintendo we're talking about here. Actually makes me optimistic about the NX, that they're finally getting their act together in that regard. So what do you guys think?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I was
You're pulling up Miitomo right now?
Miitomo right now.
Okay.
I'm on my little Miitomo. I'm talking with, I don't even know who that is, but one of my friends apparently. But like, we literally, my friend Justin and I were sitting and we face-to-face Miitomo friended each other.
Nice.
And then we were both just at lunch, like looking at our Miitomos, Mii's, I guess, for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And both of us were just like, this is so stupid.
Right.
This is the dumbest thing I have ever done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so cute and charming and like, Like I don't value this at all.
Right.
It's the stupidest thing ever. But it's like it's fun and cute, and I got a cute little jacket.
Yeah.
Like
Jones, have you dabbled in Miitomo?
I haven't touched Miitomo.
Okay.
You think I would?
you're gonna
this,
disappear.
Yeah, you'd think this would be the kind of thing. The number one sell that I have seen for Miitomo, other than just fear of missing out, just seeing people talking about it, being like, "Whoa, oh, should I get in on this? Is this thing?" Somebody was flying home from a trip, and they took a picture where they put themselves. Took a picture looking out of the window at the city, and they took a picture of them leaning on the wing of the plane, like waving goodbye to the city. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, so to people
do
unfamiliar,
that.
that's what Mi Photo is. Part of Miitomo is that you can take any picture and then like place your Mi within a 3D space and add an
adorable.
expression.
I've never done that. I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, you can really play around
New
with that.
me photo.
Yeah, and then you can post that on Twitter, and it's super funny. It is funny like every time.
I'm gonna do that.
Wow.
Stupid
right
but irresistibly charming is like Nintendo.
And here's what's actually really cool is that like you can do horrible things with these images. You can put any words you want on it, and Nintendo won't stop you.
That's the thing. That's the thing that shocked me.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine came into my house, and I won't say what they said, but they said in like, "What's up, mother effer?" You know, like swear words, and like
Yeah.
it's me here to like f up your s or whatever. You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and it like says it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like with
Oh,
their little
yeah.
voice, and I'm like, you can swear in this? Like Nintendo's not policing this at all.
And I actually think that's super smart.
It's smart, but it's very not them.
Like what Patrick's talking about, it is not like them.
It's
is
very
like
not. How do I?
it's
actually
almost like
take a
Nintendo
picture?
evolving. One thing I want to talk about in particular before I
back
grab
up.
some more opinions, because Blood definitely put in some time in Miitomo today, is the My Nintendo account. This is actually huge
Yeah.
because basically there are achievements in Miitomo that get you points. You can use these points to buy games that you can't buy anywhere else. Today I bought P-Cross, Twilight Princess P-Cross, a game that has never existed before and you can't buy it with dollars.
Right.
Using achievement points.
But like Mario 64 is in there too. And,
Yeah.
And Metroid Fusion and yeah.
Mario Land 2 and the
Wait,
6
you can
golden
get
coins.
games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can. You,
I gotta link my Miitomo to my Nintendo account. I don't think
You do.
I have a Nintendo account.
You got it. You got
Just
to.
create-
You
create one.
absolutely got to because
Yeah.
you get
Dude!
points. You get so many points for that.
I'm gonna get Metroid.
This is getting better and better for Ian by the minute.
but I
You-
mean, it's
Miitomo
Metroid
rules.
Fusion is on. What was that on Wii U?
yeah, you need the Wii U for Metroid Fusion. But go ahead, Blood. Tell me what your impression
put it on
of
I
this
mean-
achievement system in regards to Miitomo.
Oh, and the achievement system. I think it's kind of been a long time coming because they've been sort of back and forth with, like, Club Nintendo originally was just like some thing that we heard about that they were doing in Japan, where all this awesome stuff existed. They had these like great soundtrack collections and all this stuff, and then they brought it over to the U.S. and then there were some cool things in Club Nintendo here and there, but a lot of it just sort of felt like not that interesting. And then there was like a weird like demo version of Punch Out, and then they had like that Master Hand game, and they did some weird stuff, but like it never really felt like it caught on, and was just always about like, okay, you buy games and I think what killed it was the surveys.
It was Punch Out starring the coach, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what killed it was the surveys, because eventually it became like not enough to just like buy games and put in your code.
Oh,
and get
I
rewarded.
did a lot of surveys
You
back
had
in
to
the
do
day.
all these surveys that were the same questions every time.
Yeah.
And then this, it's like you do these little achievement treasure hunter things.
No, Ian's doing a survey right now.
I'm
he's
doing a
doing a photo.
Miitomo photo.
Okay,
me
but the thing
photos.
is, yeah, they're like asking him questions, and we're just like, "What did you do today?" And I'm like, I did this." It's like Nintendo knows now.
Oh yeah.
What is your favorite show? It's like here now, Nintendo knows all of our favorite shows. That is crazy.
Dude, that's how you do this though. Like
Yeah.
that's how Facebook and Google and all that, they like can market to you. Like,
But this has like little smiling robot faces that are
is
like.
this the moment when Nintendo gets it?
That's what the question is. Do you
They
believe?
finally get it.
That's what Patrick wants to know. Do you
Yeah.
think so?
It could be. The fact that they don't censor the swears
Yeah.
and
It's
that
weird.
they're gathering information for once, like about actually like what people like. Also, the tech behind this is actually kind of good. Like the way that like, and it's really funny. Like you'll say like, it'll ask you a question of like, like, what's your favorite kind of topping on a pizza or whatever, and you go, oh well, I can't eat pizza. I'm lactose intolerant. And then your me will say that, And then when you say like can't eat it, they'll go like whoa, like they'll make a face.
Yeah.
And it like seems to correlate with what's actually being said. It's like weird.
Yeah.
Future.
Well, what's also interesting about this too is because this again, Tomo is just short for Tomodachi, which is which is friend in Japanese, and Tomodachi life was huge, absolutely huge in Japan.
Even in the U.S., it sold really well.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Is that an app too?
No, that was a 3DS
it was a 3DS game.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna
but yeah,
tweet
I
this.
thought in the US it was like it had a big, like they had that big really cool wacky trailer, and then it's sort of like nobody seemed to care about it.
No, they said it sold way beyond expectations.
Huh.
They were really stoked on it. Actually.
Okay. So that's interesting, but I feel like this is way more buzz
Yes.
than Tomodachi Life
Absolutely.
ever had
Yes, yeah,
in
yeah.
the US.
Well, like, are we going to be in the crazy situation where they're like, and ladies and gentlemen, the NX? And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. I'm like, wow, Zelda looks great on it. And like, oh, that thing they teased, that's kind of neat. But like, do I really need it? And it's like, dude, Miitomo's been building to this. Like, this is literally the whole, this whole thing we've been obsessed with. Now's the time. Now you're paying off. Now it's like, oh, well, yeah, I don't need Metroid Fusion. And, I played Mario 64 to death. But just like, oh my God, now there's an exclusive NX game that I can only get on the system that
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Jones,
I mean,
I'm so scared of that.
I wonder
Can
if
I
like,
tweet that?
what's like
Yeah.
the term for it where it's just like they're being real sneaky about it. It's like that's their,
like
that's
a
like
ba-
the grenade that's going to go off.
like a
and everyone's
backdoor
like,
pilot.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
but no, I mean, that's
They're
what they-
Trojan horse. This is their
Oh, okay.
Miitomo is their NX Trojan horse.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna want it, but it's gonna all this cool
But
Miitomo
they-
stuff
yeah,
that
they-
you've already earned is like, oh crap, I gotta buy the system.
But they said that from the start. Like that.
Oh yeah, it's not
When
they're
they
not being
go on their
sneaky.
smartphones, like it's not gonna be. They're not gonna put out Mario Brothers or something like that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
they're going to make apps that are fun to play, but encourage people to go buy a console or console games.
And I am absolutely terrified. The way that I've seen my Nintendo implemented, the amount of Miitomo that I've played just to unlock a free game is ridiculous. I hate social games, and here I am like making friends and like clicking love on things just so I can like unlock a game.
That reminds me, we need to friend.
Yeah, we absolutely will friend after this.
Yeah, he forced me to do it.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
got
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the
So I
points.
got those 100 points. I got those 100. I was so crazy about those 100 points. And
So
it's like
points or coins?
it's coins.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
platinum.
was like, is there some other whole
I
currency?
think it's
don't
actually I
know
think it's
about?
platinum coins or platinum
There are a
points.
whole bunch
Oh
of
my
currencies.
gosh.
Yeah, because
Oh,
there's
really?
Miitomo in particular.
Because I'm not linked onto an account yet, so I don't know what's going on.
But I think that's gonna be like every single Nintendo game. When you play Zelda, it's like if play it today. Here's 10 points. Thanks for playing today. Like if you come back tomorrow, we'll give you 10 more points. If you beat Ganon, you get 100. Like oh my god, I'm gonna this every game.
It gives you Miitomo points for playing other games?
No, but you can
Oh.
get my Nintendo points for playing other games. This is just the first game to implement
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
point
yeah,
system.
Yeah, this is absolutely the first thing.
I think if you want to look at what the NX is going to be, at least look at Miitomo out of curiosity.
It's going to be connected, social,
yeah.
monetized.
And then there'll be like achievements where it forces everybody else to start doing it.
Very astute comment.
You'll
Patrick.
you'll get trophies in your Miitomo from playing on the NX, yeah.
But I know I'm just saying it's like if this works for them, then you'll see this tied to like trophies and achievements as well. Like you won't just get a trophy, you'll get something too.
Okay, so we got to take our analyst hats off. This is just a creative one.
Yay!
Yeah. Here we go. This comes from Jerry Young.
You're young, hi.
I watched the trailer for Neo and Neo. You know that one.
The
Yeah.
Samurai
Yeah.
Dark Souls.
I didn't see the new trailer yet though.
I haven't seen the new trailer yet.
And couldn't be more excited for the demo that comes out in April. Comes out late April.
Oh.
I'm not a huge fan of Souls or Bloodborne, but
That's okay,
make it a
nobody's
game with a
perfect.
samurai and animal spirits. Count me in. This is similar. This is similar how there are some people who aren't big GTA fans but are huge Red Dead fans, or the other way around.
That's me.
Right.
Love Red Dead, hate GTA.
So my question is, what are some games you don't enjoy that a different world might totally change your opinion of? So that was a cool open-ended question.
Witcher 3, if you could play as a girl.
Would
Like,
that be
make
it?
a character, yeah.
Really? That would be the defining difference? Mm-hmm. What about Siri?
Yeah, but you don't make her. She's Siri.
All right. Wow. So if it was more like a traditional RPG, I guess,
Yeah.
you'd be more into it.
More into it, yeah. I don't know if I'd play it, though, because, I mean, now I'm thinking, like, Skyrim I didn't really play because Dark Souls was a thing, and I was like, oh, clearly Dark Souls. But, yeah.
All right. Jones, what's something you hate? What's a game that you hate where you're like, you know what? I would give that a chance if only it was this kind of genre.
I don't know.
That's a hard
I have
question.
nothing. I literally, not even.
So I'll
some,
tell
like,
you,
half comment
I'll
to
do
throw
one.
out there in the meantime.
I'll tell you one. Is there are some times where I'm looking at a scary game that's like about discovery and just walking around. You don't have to kill things. If I could do that in a game that isn't scary, heck yes. Yes, I would love that. They call them walking simulators a lot, yeah, but like, yeah, just like playing a game where you can just be a person who's not superpowered and just like in this situation. Yeah, but if you're just going to throw scary screaming babies at me, no, I'm out. So like for me, yeah, there's that barrier there with scary games that like if they weren't scary, I would totally be into this. Even like what was it, Ethan Carter? I was looking at that and I'm like, this is a little too spooky for me.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I don't want to look at
scary
those
game.
ghosts. I don't want it. Blood. I don't want it. So it's like that. Like, Blood, do you have anything like this where it's like, you know what, I can
No,
get into it.
I feel like the GTA Red Dead is the perfect
GTA Red
example.
Dead is the
Yeah.
best example. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
I love both of them.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
to
that.
death.
That literally they're like very similar games, but I love Red Dead.
What's the difference?
The
It's
difference
sweet
to me,
Western.
It's to me it's just the attitude. Like I've never gotten into like the whole like crime gang, hookers and drugs and all that. Like it just doesn't appeal to me.
I like that Red Dead
It's
game
real
where you're a
life.
criminal hunting down your old gang. That's
Yeah,
what
I don't know. They got, I was gonna
No,
say,
but
they
yeah,
got
it's
some stuff
funny,
like that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally get what you mean, Blood.
A criminal in the Wild West is a very different situation than a criminal in
Right.
New York. Like
Okay, that's
Yeah, like
you know,
organized crime stuff. Like I've just not ever been into like mafia or any of that kind of thing.
To put a point on it and to maybe say that I would enjoy something is I think one of the things that I really like about another reason why people dig Red Dead and what's just fascinating to me is like when you play LA, you're like, yep, right, LA. And then you like play Red Dead and you really get a sense of like, wow, people must have smelled real bad in this area. Like, wow, I must be real hot right now. Like,
Yeah.
wow, it must have sucked falling asleep in the desert. Like, wow, you really start to think of like, wow, what must it have been like to live 200, 300 years ago
Yeah.
in America, And so it's kind of exciting, for you to think of that. And so that's why I think maybe if something was a period piece, if something was an exploration, if what was the Hong Kong game?
Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping
If Sleeping Dogs was set in like the 50s, it's like, okay, here we go. Because now I'm going to learn stuff about the culture that I didn't know. Something like L.A. Noire, to me, actually,
Yeah.
story-wise, fascinates me more than a GTA 5 because it's
Yeah.
like, like I didn't show my parents GTA 5. I showed them L.A. Noire every inch of it because I was like, look at this. Like, did it look like this when you were in L.A., like in the 50s? Like, so, yeah, I think learning something about another culture or about another time period that you didn't know is a little more enticing to me than just like, you're in Japan. I'm like, okay, well...
And I'm thinking about, this isn't a perfect analog to this, but I'm thinking about common gameplay placed in a different kind of setting that gets me involved. Like, BioShock Infinite is the perfect example of that. Like, I don't play a lot of, I do play some, but like I don't play like Call of Duty or shooters, Like if they did a BioShock Modern Warfare, I likely would not play it. But like because it's the BioShock, like that weird like pseudo parallel past like that makes me play a AAA shooter.
Okay.
And like BioShock Infinite was a AAA shooter, like
So like, let's say Call of Duty next year is...
or Destiny. I play Destiny because it's a sci-fi game.
Yeah.
And I don't play Battlefield or Battlefront, whichever one's the non-Star Wars one. Battlefield 4.
So like, all right, it's Call of Duty Steampunk Warfare. You're in. You're like, I'll give it a shot.
I might think about it.
Cool. All right, that's really interesting. Don't you think? Like,
Yeah.
I like this. Blood, do you have any other examples outside of the GTA?
No, not off the top of my head. No.
Okay.
Bloodborne for me. Bloodborne was the
Yeah.
very definition
That's a
of this
direct
conversation.
example, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I was like, Demon Souls. I'm like, it just kind of looks like an empty, sad fantasy game.
No,
like
we made you play it and you weren't into it.
I like, yeah, and like
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Well, no, but it's beautiful because it's sad. It's like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 are they're very empty worlds. You are going into a world where you are one of the only people that's kind of making it work at all. Everyone else is gone. Everyone
Yeah,
else is
yeah.
like
Well, they've
turned
gone,
into a
yeah.
monster or sacrificed their humanity or there's not many people you can strike up a conversation
And even
with.
the ones that are still
know.
human are like cracked out of their
Right.
minds. Yeah.
And so I think it was just the kind of the vacantness. When I play role-playing games, I like to go into a Skyrim. I like to go into a bustling city of kids and adults and attractive people and ugly people and funny accents and where I like to live in the culture and be like, yay, I'm in a cozy little town. And there's nothing cozy in those games. Whereas like if I'm playing gothic horror, I don't want that to be cozy
Yeah.
at all. And so Bloodborne was like, yes, finally.
That's
Yeah.
sort of
Finally, what you're trying to go for and the theme match perfectly for me.
that's sort of a weird thing about when Game of Thrones annoys me is when it's too much, just like when it's harping on its whole like life is pointless kind of messaging, you know? It's like, yeah, I know that. I'm watching you because I want to see some crazy like fantasy stuff and some political intrigue. I know life is pointless. You don't have to tell me this story about
Ian
crushing...
tells me that every
Wait,
day.
what does that have to do? How did that
No,
tie
I'm
into
saying
Bloodborne?
I'm saying like, yeah, like for me, it's like that. Like the setting is, that's why I don't like GTA probably, is because like I live in LA.
Yeah.
I am a successful criminal. Like, I want to play a game that isn't just my life. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, I was flying a helicopter
We
off
took
the top of a
4,000
building.
people for 30 Lodge this
Yeah,
April.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah. Too real. We're very appreciative.
I think we can do one more. I think we can do one more love and respect. Here we
We've
go.
only been doing this for an hour and a half.
This comes from Trey Whetstone.
Trey Whetstone.
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 It's like
Love
a
it.
bad guy in an Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
Trey
awesome
Whetstone.
name. Trey Whetstone.
You know,
I am Trey Whetstone.
You know what bums me out is Sam Rockwell's in Iron Man 2,
Right.
and like that's it. You won't be able to be in the Marvel universe anymore. They burned him.
Yeah, on a bad movie.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell's awesome.
Yeah. That could have been. Oh, that really burns. That chaps my bum. Okay, so hey guys, I noticed that
can
you
reboot him in.
you released advanced reviews for both Quantum Break and Dark Souls 3. Oh, it's directly to or Easy Allies. This week we put out Quantum Break and Dark Souls 3
Advanced reviews?
Like in advance of
Oh,
release.
okay.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what that means?
Yeah.
Because I was like, our reviews are pretty advanced. I mean, they're like
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty
technical
advanced.
and
Right, yeah.
like, well written.
Yeah, no, I'll accept that. Yeah.
no. Jones, we
In
put
advance.
out a review for a game that isn't out yet.
Correct.
So, were you
Finally
able?
hitting those deadlines.
Were you able to receive copies from publishers this soon after starting? Oh, sorry. How were you able to receive those copies from publishers this soon after starting Easy Allies? How does the whole process of receiving games early for review work? Love and respect, Trey Whetstone.
Trey Whetstone?
Sounds like a question for Daniel Bloodstone.
Yeah. I figured this is a pretty easy one, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sort of a revelation a little bit.
Revelation.
Yeah, just in just that period.
I didn't expect it.
Well, the thing is, yeah, when I was talking about going to GDC last week, I had no business being at GDC. I didn't work for anybody, but I was like, hey, can I still come? They're like, oh yeah, we'll give you VIP ticket. You know, this is like, like there's this perception that like PR or whatever are just out there like trying to manipulate everything to get like the best benefit for them or whatever. And like, and to like, a very real extent, that's true. Like, I know that somewhere Microsoft has a file of like everything I've ever done and what I like and what I don't like and what I'm going to respond. Like, I know that exists somewhere.
Wait, is that serious or are you joking right now?
No, that's for real.
You actually know that exists.
I'm pretty sure it exists.
That seems
Whoa,
pretty.
that's some
Like
Miitomo stuff right
any
there.
journalist out there, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these are all real people. They're all people that I've worked with forever, and so it's like, unless they have like it's gonna take away from something for them, and there's like, oh yeah, whatever, you know. So, you know, I just basically emailed people. I mean, even when I was at GDC, and like I just dropped by and talked to people, and like, oh yeah, you guys want to do anything with MLB the show? I was like, yeah, Huber will do that, sure.
So, Blood, you're saying you still got some clout.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, it's not just clout. It's not like, oh, I can give you how, like, I've never talked to people about numbers. Like, they're just like, they know me. We've emailed back and forth, even if we don't.
Wait, what do you
know
mean
each
by
other's-
numbers? What type of numbers are you
Like
talking
view
about?
counts or anything like.
Subscriber numbers.
Yeah.
Twitter
Do you think they care about
followers,
stuff like that?
I think that they care to a degree, especially if they don't know a person. But I think
that's when they care.
Yeah.
They care when they
Yeah.
have no idea who you are.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Is like, I think in our case, it's like Easy Allies. Yeah, we just started up, but like every single person here was at a company that existed for 13 years, and like you had all these email addresses and contacts, and they know you as a person. So like they're like, okay, Bloodworth is a trustworthy source who's worked for a reputable, for a bunch of years, and like Easy Allies has been like fairly successful fairly quickly, and it's like clear that we're like committed to doing this, and like we're in it,
And we're not creeps.
and we're not, yeah, and it's like, So like I think in the case of Easy Allies, like I don't think that this is a case to like if you were starting out, Monsieur Whetstone, like if I'm just some person starting out in the trying to review games thing, like I would not expect to email a PR person and have them send a copy. But like I don't know. In this case, I think it's a special case.
because
Sure.
it's just
So I don't know why they're. I don't know
like
the reason you're
it's a
asking.
person-to-person relationship, and like even with Quantum Break, it was really funny because the guy that actually sent us the code, like I don't know that I've talked to him that much in the past, or if I even had, but I talked to somebody that I knew there, and they directed me to the person that was handling Quantum Break.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I used to watch Invisible Walls in middle school or whatever. And it's like,
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
so it's like we just like people know us one way or another. You
Yeah.
know?
And it's worth keeping in mind, just to not necessarily talk about like rebooting Easy Allies, but just kind of the regular day-to-day of dealing with these people. Even, in the absolute peak of, the most people we ever employed, the most reviews we were pumping out, back at GT, there was still the game here and there where we were like, we don't have it. Who are we talking to? Why don't, I emailed the guy.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
it's back.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, even if you
It swings
are
both ways, for
deep
sure.
in with
Yeah.
Capcom, you still kind of know that person. That person
Yeah.
might be on, they might have just had a kid and they're gone for 2 months, or they're on some vacation, or that or they've left the company and they didn't.
There were a
put you
lot
in
of
touch with somebody
instances
else.
where we like just like the copies showed up late.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
It's
or,
always
like, all that, you know.
it's always a challenge. It's never something you can just assume is going to happen. You always got to just reaching out. I know it's not going to happen for another week, but just hello.
It's interesting to
Putting our
know
name
that
out
though.
there.
It's definitely from an outside perspective to know that like it's even the PR people you contact. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think that's interesting knowledge.
And the cool thing I don't want to speak for all of you guys, but like, and I mean, I've always been more on the production side of things and stuff like that, but like occasionally I get to play games, too. And like, it's always a thrill to me. Like, I always feel honored that someone would trust to give us a code or a game.
Yeah.
And like, even though, it's like, that's the job. It's still just like,
Well, you were talking
I don't
about being
know.
secret on PS4, and I always feel weird when I'm like reading the info and I'm like, it doesn't say anything about me not playing this online. The game doesn't come out for a week and a half.
yeah.
So I'm just like, okay.
Okay.
Just a jump online, knowing all these
My
people that
entire-
followed me on PS4, like, you want what? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I got it.
My entire friend list this week was playing Dark Souls 3 on my PlayStation 4. And I was just like, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that. And now I might get it on PC because the frame rates, I don't know.
Get it on PC.
But betrayal. I gotta
And
play
you,
with
you also
PS4
never know who
controller.
slips through the cracks. A lot has happened where like we'll go to an event or like some event will happen and people are just like, hey, I'm playing Uncharted 4 today, and you're like, wait, what?
Right.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
And you just will email a
How
guy.
did I
And
not
how
get on
did we
that
didn't
list?
know? And they're like, so, again, I got to manage all these people. I got to know what companies they're at, who's interested in what, who we can send, who's local, who's worth sending. I think it's always in flux. I don't think there's some, real every PR follows a very specific list every single time. Their job's not
Well,
easy.
and also, like, I don't know, like, the games industry gets a lot of flack for, like, shady deals or whatever. And I've never really seen that personally. Like,
No.
it's all just, like, people being human beings to each other and saying, like, oh, we're a news outlet and we cover games. And, like, oh, do you want to cover our game? And we're like, yeah, sure, we'll cover your game. Like, there's no, like, no one pays anyone and no one, like, is doing any shady stuff. It's always just, like,
that you've seen or I have seen.
What?
That you or I have seen.
Jones said,
No, yeah, that
Jones
I'm
is
aware
saying
of.
it's out there. Is
I'm
where
sure,
that's
yeah,
at.
but I mean, maybe there's shady deals, but, like, no one I know
Right.
Yeah.
that I know of has partaken in any shady
Right.
deals.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We're
like
doing okay.
outside of us even, like no outlet I know of,
So I meant for that to be a quick one. Thank you, Trey Whetstone.
Trey Whetstone.
Tony. Your compassion has always been your weakness.
Is that Trey Whetstone?
You said he's an Iron Man enemy, yes.
Oh, okay. Trey Whetstone. Yes.
It's like he's like tightening his watch.
Yeah.
Tony.
Tony.
You care too much.
And all the money in the world can't bring Penny back. Her name's Penny, right?
No, it's what is her name?
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper. God, I was so close.
Penny's from Pee Wee's Playhouse.
At
Or, The
business
Magicians.
school, we used to make fun of
Yeah,
guys
but
like
that's a
you,
guy.
Tony.
Yeah.
So
I've been watching The Magicians.
It's good.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
Magicians
a
on
huge
Sci-Fi.
guilty pleasure of mine.
It's the best
right now.
sci-fi show ever, in my opinion.
Really?
Sci-fi
You're like,
is-
this is wait,
sci-fi?
what network is this?
Sci-Fi Channel is back. The
Yeah.
Expanse is incredible.
Yeah, I heard The
The
Expanse is real
Magicians is like it dips into like super cheese sometimes, but
All
it's
the
like,
time. It knows.
Oh, it knows.
So is it
though.
like
It's not
Buffy
like,
the
well, that
Vampire
was a
Slayer?
cheesy
it's like,
episode.
It's not
It
that.
is
It's like a
cheese.
different kind of cheese. It's like
It is
Harry
based
Potter
on a book
College,
that was
but like,
cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I've heard, the show is like they fixed a lot from the books. Like it's less cheese.
Yeah.
And then
I hated
12
that-
Monkeys is actually fairly decent of a show. It's coming back.
It's
later
over
in
now,
April.
but I really liked Defiance. Those 3 seasons.
I didn't watch Defiance. I gotta watch Killjoys.
Tangent.
Listen to these cable lovers.
What was the other one? Well, I don't have cable, but like, there was one other one that was like not good. But Dark Matter. It's like that one's super cheesy, but it's like fun.
Dark Matter. Cool sci-fi. Get
The
on top of it.
Expanse though, like legit high quality.
It is. It's time for bets.
Okay.
All right.
Next week, yes, Dark Souls 3 is coming out next week. Yeah. We all know. But so
I noticed some other game is also coming out on that date,
Ratchet and Clank.
and some other one that I'm like, oh.
Wait, beside Ratchet and
On
Clank?
PlayStation Network, I was looking at some like game release date, and it was like the same day as those two,
Yeah.
and I was just like, you poor.
No.
Poor
That
devil.
poor game will be fine. It's okay.
Okay.
Here's what we're doing. When Ratchet and Clank comes out next week, I'm going to, before we do the show, look at the top 10 most recent reviews for Ratchet and Clank on GameRankings.com.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to look through all the words of those reviews. How many times will I find the words film and movie?
Wait, film and or movie?
And or.
Okay.
I'm counting all occurrences of film, all occurrences of movie.
Yeah.
How many times will that happen for this game, Ratchet and Clank, and all the reviews? Brandon, I think we should just do this thing where you always go first, and then it comes
Alright.
back to me.
Loser goes first. 7.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm trusting a lot.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
If you think it would be 1 each, but
12.
I'm gonna say 22 because I
Nice.
think they're gonna mention it in the intro and the conclusion, and one
yeah.
guy's gonna say it like 8 times.
yeah.
Bloodworth,
try
we
to
got
play
a
that.
problem.
Uh-oh.
12.
Ooh.
We also have another problem that we have 3 minutes of
The camera
left.
is beeping at us. All right, so we got 3 minutes.
Speed
Let's
run.
do
Go,
it.
go, go, go,
Speed
go.
run it.
Okay.
Speed run it, baby. We'll have to figure out what tiebreaker is. Let me lock those in. Okay, last week's bet. Quantum Break comes out this week. The bet was, from the beginning of the first episode, how many seconds will it take for us to see someone blink? Of course, because it has TV shows within the show.
Right. In the TV show specifically, 9. Huber wins. 9 seconds.
Oh my
Huber
gosh.
had 7. Brad had 12, so they were almost tied in the middle.
Oh, but it was just those two
went
guys
to
anyway.
Huber.
And then
It
we
is
were
a
way
side
over that.
profile of a female character who very clearly
Blinks.
does like a big blink.
Okay, so that makes it 1 point for what's the name of your team?
What was it? Green lizard.
Very quick.
Green lizards.
Green lizard.
Green Lizards, 1 point for the Red Eagles.
Caw!
Caw. Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
that's what we say. I don't remember which seat Huber was in. I think he was closest to me,
He
wasn't
was
he?
right there, yeah.
So, Ian,
Hi.
you get the right and responsibility to everyone your Twitter name. You get last word on anything you disagree with that was said throughout this episode. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you ever want. You get to say that we're on iTunes, and you get to give us your trademark sign-off.
Okay. My Twitter is Ian Hink. I didn't really disagree with anything. I think we were pretty amicable. Watch the first 3 minutes of the first episode of Easy Update number 1, and then you can bow out. And then, good night and good game.
You forgot to say we're on iTunes.
We're on iTunes.